Okay, just hit record and do the thing. I know it's been a while, but it's really not that hard. It's fine. Okay, here we go. Hi, I'm JD, and welcome to Just Trying Things. It's been a long time. I took a long break from doing the YouTube things. I was still over on Twitch. We can learn more about that at the end of the show today. But today it is all about the music, and apparently the corner of my recliner. Get rid of that. Your magic eraser hand. We're off to a great start. I thought for the return to the YouTube reaction scene, Lux Aeterna, widely regarded as Metallica's return to form. I'm a long-term Metallica listener for pretty much approximately as long as I've been alive, because I have older siblings, and Ride the Lightning was a really good album. But I think most people agree that they didn't necessarily sustain the quality of those early works. Yeah, I'd be one of those people. I personally quite liked Death Magnetic. A lot of people didn't even go for that one, but yeah, I think it's pretty good. But I think everyone was pretty hot on Lux Aeterna, and the only reason I didn't listen to it at the time is because I was going to do a reaction, and then I stopped doing reactions. So that's why this is the comeback video. Comeback may be a little bit strong, but we'll see. Little note on the format. So this is something new that I will be doing going forward. I prefer to listen to something for the first time in its entirety. I don't want to interrupt my own first experience, but I also do like to do some lyric analysis, and also just so that we're not treading on anyone's toes, I'm going to be editing in my later thoughts on the lyrics. So if there are breaks, that's just part of the format, and if I'm wearing something different, it probably just means that I came back later to do that, having listened to the song a few more times and read the lyrics. You'll pick it up as we go along, it's fine. So, Lux Aeterna by Metallica, and do I look like a Metallica person? I guess, frankly, I probably do look very much like an average Metallica fan in my vaguely nerdy t-shirt and literal grandpa's cardigan. It's cool. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, I already see it. Hi, I'm JD's analytical mind, I suppose. Welcome. First thing I did, obviously, well, actually, let's begin with my overall impression from when I originally just listened to it the once, which is that it's a very, very positive song. Specifically, the feeling it gives me is kind of it feels like the kind of that collective excitement and exhilaration when you're at a gig, right? And it feels like Metallica are known pretty well for they're alive on stage. They're like often the studio is kind of a prison for them. Is a like they've talked about, like they even did a tour called something like the Sick of the Studio tour, right? Because what they really love doing is playing live, and that feels like what's being expressed here is that love of the live experience. That was kind of my initial kind of gut feeling. Obviously, first thing I did, like I say, is to kind of obviously just to look up what Lux Aeterna even means, and it's pretty much what I thought. So Aeterna's pretty obvious. Lux, I have always I assumed light. Lux in English is a unit of measurement of light. And yes, sure enough, looked it up and just double checked, and yes, eternal light is the literal translation. More specifically, it's from the Catholic communion, I believe, which makes sense, right? Like it is a song about that collective, that communal kind of joy in that moment and in that experience. So that's where I initially start. Lyrically, going through this first verse, and anticipation in domination, because Metallica are a very heavy sound, certainly for their time, this feels like it's talking about like the beginning of their career is what I'm kind of getting from it as I've gone in later on. So it's that sense of power and authority on the stage. A sea of hearts beat as one, unified. The crowd as well as the band, all as one. Magnification, all generations, because they've been around forever, right? They've got people young and old. So maybe in that sense, it's not kind of at the beginning of their career specifically. Like that, all generations, certainly now is very true. They have brought their sound, what they do, across generations. There's no denying that. Approaching thunder, awaiting the light. Full speed or nothing, full speed or nothing. And that's what feels like the kind of early Metallica, the early kind of thrash days, the Kill 'Em All. And that's what this particular track feels like it's harkening back to. That I think is what made me feel like it's expressing something of that youthful exuberance, in particular. And then Lux Aeterna, the communion hymn. Verse 2, exhilaration, frenzied sensation, kindred alliance, connected inside. Again, still carrying on very much with that feeling of mutual and collective excitement. Commiseration, sonic salvation. Now that's a line I really like. That sense. So, like, metal is often a genre that connects with people who, have problems. It's people think of it. People who aren't into metal think of it as angry, gloomy music for angry, gloomy people, and a lot of the time that's not true. But the sense in which it is true is that it does connect with that part of us, and so it expresses something and allows us to feel something, but feel it together and feel that mutual, that commiseration. We can stand in a room at a metal concert and feel that we are not alone, feel that we are part of something greater, and although we have problems in our lives, although we might suffer from all kinds of issues that people have, whether it's mental illness or something going on in their lives, etc., we have that shared experience, and it is both the commiseration and the joy in that moment that we share, and that is the salvation that's being described, which is also a very religious word, connecting to the Catholic reference of the title Lux Aeterna. Cast out the demons that strangle your life. So and you know what? Fair. Like, people do talk about going to concerts and like live music especially as an almost religious experience, and as more and more people kind of move away from the traditional, like literally religious experiences, you know, the church attendance is falling year on year, I believe, but people still have a need for what church used to give us, and so this is how we cast out the demons that strangle our lives. This is how we feel that sense of communion and commiseration and salvation. This is this is good writing. It was immediately expressive. It goes along with, if you weren't a metal fan, it wouldn't be what the music sounds like, but it is how it makes you feel if you are. And that's great. What a good song. I was expecting more of like a... more of a kind of a progressive thing, but it's almost more back to their thrash days. That was not what I was expecting. Nice. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, that was really cool. Let's just stick it on a random frame there and look at that. Anyway, that last verse, we'll let him speak in a minute. It's fine. Last verse there: emancipation, kill isolation, never alone for the feelings alike. Amplification, lightening the nation, never alive, more than right here tonight. I stand by my previous comments. Full speed or nothing. Full speed or nothing. Lux Aeterna. Lux Aeterna, yeah. Outro. Light it.
maybe there's something else that I'm missing. Maybe it might be more specific, but that's the very much the feel that I get. It's a song about the joy of metal, and especially the metal community and the live experience, and the positivity that can come from that. I'm gonna duck out here. I'll leave it to... yeah. Sussy Lux. He's alright, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I was expecting much more like the sort of Master of Puppets Justice for All kind of more progressive side, especially from the name Lux Aeterna. Like they've, you know, it sounds like it's going to be, you know, more of that slightly more cerebral, progressive kind of feel. But it's, yeah, no, they've gone further back than that, and I guess that's what kind of Death Magnetic was trying to recreate. But they've, yeah, I get this is yeah, I see why people really enjoyed this. That was cool. It was unexpected. It was real pleasure. That's got my blood going this morning. I feel pretty ready for anything now. Anyway, thanks for watching. Before we go, I mentioned the Twitch thing. If you've enjoyed my vibe generally, JD Tillingast over on Twitch, there's a link down below. It's JD TILLINGHAST. I'm a small variety gaming streamer over there, so I don't really do anything on the music side. I just sit and chill and play games and chat with, well, you if you come up. Yeah, for now, this has been just trying things with Metallica Lux Aeterna. Now I see what the fuss was about. Nice, simple, straightforward. That was a good time. Thanks for watching. I expect I'll put some sort of a, you know, next thing to watch up here. I've got some older ones that'll do for now.
In fact, I have an unreleased reaction to Kirk Hammett's High Plains Drifter. Maybe I'll upload that, and that seems like a natural combination. There you go. It's my return to YouTube, and I'll make it a... what's my face like? Make it a little double. That seems natural. Anyways, for real, this time I'm gonna go.
They were pretty good, but this should be getting more slick from here. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. You know how to do YouTube. It's fine. Anyway, cheers. Bye bye.